Well, this was shortly after I moved Soda, Sawny, and Fez around in the round pen with Riggs. I led Sawny into the round pen by himself. Riggs is in there for emotional support and to help me out a little bit. I tighten his cinch up and go ahead and step on him. This is his third ride, and it's the second ride where I've been on him with a saddle. His first ride was bareback. First thing I do is check him out and make sure that I can disengage those hinds and flex his head around before we start working on moving out. I make sure that he can flex and disengage on both sides with reasonable quality before I ever ask him to take forward steps. This colt hasn't offered to be bronky at all, but I still want to make sure that he's going to have decent feel, and if he did want to start screwing around, I can pick him up and actually have some response there. Sawny wants to be pretty feely in the halter naturally, which is great, and he's had a fair bit of groundwork since I've had him from a weanling. We start taking some forward steps here. This colt is pretty chill. I like how he carries himself. He's not real worried by much. I kind of hurry him along with the tail of my rope there, and we start trotting out almost immediately, which is great. I end up going through Riggs right there, and I actually use Riggs to my advantage here in a couple spots. Riggs has pretty decent control from vocal cues and will move off very easily and knows which gaits to pick up based on what I'm saying to him. So I was using him to my advantage a little bit, getting him to move out and letting these colts have something to follow occasionally. And it worked really well. Riggs is super willing. I'm trying to use all of the round pen. Sawny kind of wanted to stay towards the center and make smaller circles because they're easier, and the sand tends to be a little bit deeper around the outside. But I needed him to stay towards the outside of the pen to be able to move out a little bit faster as I was looking for, hopefully, the lope during this session. I had not yet loped him under saddle at this point in time. I'm looking for him to want to stay on the fence on his own. I'm trying to make it a little more work for him to want to stay over here by Riggs and the other horses. Riggs is a pretty sensitive horse. He's not super impressed with all the pressure I'm putting on Sawny and feels the need to leave there, so I decide to go ahead and put him to work. You can see here how handy that is. A lot of the time it's just me working with these colts, so I have to be a little bit creative about trying to get them to move out sometimes. And Riggs was extremely helpful with this session. Sawny's moving out pretty good right there. I'm not having to pedal him too much to keep going. There, when we changed directions, he kind of wanted to stall out a little bit, but that's pretty normal. He hasn't offered any silly business. Once again, he's a really chill individual, not bothered by much. Kind of just keeping him moving out at a trot there. These two horses are actually three-quarter brothers. They're both by Awesome Roni and out of Rolling Jack's Copper Daughters. And the only thing different about their pedigrees is Riggs has Lonesome Drift 045 and an extra shot of High Rolling Roni on the bottom of his dam side. And Sawny is Zangold Jackson and Yellow Joe Hancock on the bottom of his maternal side. I'm pretty happy with these two. Riggs is a coming 4 and Sawny is a coming 2. There we're just starting to get the suggestion of a lope. I'm looking for him to actually commit, and just a stride or two of the lope is all I'm looking for here. He's kind of pissy about it a little bit. I just keep the pressure on until right there. He actually commits to the lope, and then I just start loving on him here after I turn him into the fence. I was really happy with that. You can see him licking and chewing even from this distance. Then we pick right back up and look for the same thing in the other direction. I kind of shoo Riggs out of the way there. He's starting to get a little too friendly to the fence. Sawny's pretty sure that he's done enough and kind of wants to stop by the gate there. I just keep after him. Swoosh him with my tail on my rope. He offers a couple nice strides and then rolls right down to a stop. And what an awesome spot to quit. Hilariously enough, this is also where the drone decided it was out of battery and offered to land itself, which cracked me up. I go ahead and start unsaddling him right there. And that's it for ride 3. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed.